What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Beanie Kaloon, already back with another banger video. I want to let you guys know right off the bat, I'm about to be on my upload grind for these next couple weeks because got no school, we got Christmas break going, so we're locked in on YouTube all day, we got no other focuses. We're about to be on that grind. Expect some heater videos coming often. For this video, I want to talk about Kanye West. Now, in my opinion, Kanye West is the greatest rapper of all time, no doubt. Perhaps even the greatest artist of all time. And I'm not the only one who holds this opinion. There's a lot of Kanye dick riders out there. And I mean, there's a good reason why. Kanye is kind of just on another fucking level. And as a Kanye dick rider myself, I enjoyed following these other Kanye dick riders, going on to the r/West Suburbs, following different accounts on Twitter that, dick ride Kanye. I'm actually getting followed back by the one and the only Kanye dick rider watching the throne, who is followed by Kanye West, so I'm basically one step away from getting a follow from Kanye, watching the throne likes one of my tweets, Kanye sees it on his feed. Shit, he might, dude, it could happen. But anyway, in these Kanye circle jerk groups that, I'm a part of, I'll often come across a post that says something on the lines of Kanye West's discography is so crazy because you can have any favorite album and everyone can accept it. But the thing is, this is just not true. It's so close to being true, and I wish it was because it would be a cool fact. Kanye has 12 albums, and there being an argument that each one could be better than the last, that's just some goat shit right there. But I do think for 11 out of 12 Kanye's last albums, you could make that argument. I mean, taking a look at Kanye's discography, The College Dropout, I'd argue that's my favorite Kanye album, fucking Family Business, Through the Wire, All Falls Down, Last Call, Spaceship. There's just so many fucking bangers on this album. And then this man Kanye dropped Late Registration. Every time I look at this track list, I'm like, shit, man, maybe this album's better than College Dropout. I don't know which one's my favorite. It's again, an album with banger after fucking banger, dude. Heard 'Em Say, Drive Slow, Bring Me Down, Hey Mama, Gone, dude. Gone is one of the greatest rap songs of all time, and there's no question about it. And then this man dropped fucking Graduation, which the Kanye dick riders and, snobs do tend to shit on people who say this is their favorite Kanye album. Saying some corny shit about how this is actually Kanye's least deep album, it shouldn't be your favorite. But fuck those nerds, man. If we're talking bangers, this album is jam-packed with them. Good Morning, I Wonder, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Everything I Am, The Glory. Dude, The Glory. The Glory. This album has The Glory on it, so I personally wouldn't criticize anyone if they said this was their favorite Kanye album. And then this man dropped fucking 808s and Heartbreaks, and that fucking album, that album's fucking electric, dog, and very sad. And as a sad man myself, I enjoy some sad music. It's rare that you hear this sad or emotional side of Kanye. And this album basically fucking influenced a whole new generation of artists. I don't want to go too deep into that because there's already 9 different YouTube videos talking about that. Just listen to the song Heartless and look at the fact that it came out in 2008 and you can just see this man was clearly way ahead of his time. And some of my favorite standout songs off this album would be Say You Will, Amazing, RoboCop, Streetlights, Paranoid. Just a lot of fucking bangers, dude. Then this man dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which, I don't really even need to, talk about because it's just unanimously agreed one of his greatest albums and just widely agreed one of the greatest rap albums of all time. But some favorites off this album would have to be Gorgeous, Power, So Appalled, Devil in the New Dress, Runaway, just a lot of bangers, clearly. Then Kanye dropped Watch the Throne, which I will say is Kanye's first album, in my opinion, that has 8 or more songs that I just do not care for at all. But in Kanye's defense, this is a collab album, so. But even so, if someone comes up to me telling me that Watch the Throne is their favorite Kanye album, I can't really judge that take because there's still so many fucking heaters on this album, fucking Fellas in Paris, Otis, Gotta Have It, That's My Bitch, Who's Gonna Stop Me, dude. This album definitely has its fair share of bangers. And then this dude drops Yeezus, which is a controversial album, but undoubtedly the instrumentals are some of his most wild and ambitious yet. And lyric-wise, I would argue some of his best as well. Now, some may think that's a wild claim because Kanye just completely off the rails saying wild shit throughout this entire album, but is that not what you want out of Kanye West? This is truly Kanye's most Kanye album in my opinion. I can't disrespect anyone who wants to have this as their favorite Kanye album. Some favorites off this album: New Slaves, Hold My Liquor, I'm In It, Blood on the Leaves, and of course Bound 2. And then Kanye dropped The Life of Pablo, which honestly, hot take incoming, I don't like this album that much. But this is like quite literally Kanye's most popular album. It's his most streamed on Spotify, and I mean, I bet it's most people's favorite album, so I mean, Kanye must have been doing something right with this album. I just wasn't feeling it that much, but I mean, I don't want you guys to think I'm a complete Life of Pablo hater. I do heavily enjoy St. Pablo and No More Parties in LA. I would say those are both like top 20 Kanye songs, so you know, like, I'll still throw a bit of respect to the Life of Pablo. Then Kanye dropped Ye, which I will admit would be hard to make the argument that this is one of his best albums. But then on the other hand, this album does have Ghost Town, so I mean, that song is an all-time great banger. And it's not like the other songs on this album are bad. I'd argue there's actually no bad songs on this album, but the album is also only 7 songs long. But then like a week later, Kanye dropped another album, his collab album with Kid Cudi, Kids See Ghost. And I mean, this album's literally Anthony Fantano's favorite Kanye album, so clearly you can't criticize anyone who wants to say this is their favorite Kanye album. Clearly, they have a sophisticated taste in music. Some of my personal favorites off this album is Fire, Kids See Ghost, and Cudi Montage. But then Kanye decided to drop Jesus Is King. This was his gospel album, which in theory sounds like it has potential to actually be a pretty crazy Kanye album, as I mean, Kanye's been rocking with Jesus since the college dropout with, you know, Jesus' walks and all the samples he would use. But this man Kanye fumbled the bag with Jesus Is King. Like, you could not say this is Kanye's best album. Like, it is just not a good album. Like, never has Kanye dropped such a mid album. And well, the reason for this album being mid, I think, is kinda obvious. It's because the whole entire album's about Jesus. Now, I'm not trying to hate on Jesus Christ, you know, he died for our sins and everything, but this is not what I'm looking for in a Kanye record. You know, I like bits and pieces of, you know, hyping up Jesus. But Kanye decided to just straight up take all his fans to church with this album. And I mean, me personally, dog, I don't want to go to church. Like, it kind of angers me that this dude Kanye just had to make this whole entire album about God. Because honestly, as far as instrumentals and Kanye's flow and like rapping ability go on this album, I think Kanye fucking kills it. My issue with this album is this dude Kanye's just rapping about some Bible shit the whole entire time, and dude, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, nor do I care. Normally the lyrics and, you know, the shit that Kanye's talking about is usually my favorite part of Kanye's songs, as he's usually either relatable, funny, or just acting like the fucking man. But you basically get none of that with this album, and instead are met with boring ass songs like Water. Now, while Jesus Is King is undoubtedly Kanye's worst album, obviously any Kanye album is going to have a couple bangers on it. Soleil, Use This Gospel, and God Is are all absolute bangers. Especially God Is. God Is like a top 20 Kanye song. That song's very hard. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is this thing I saw on Twitter and Reddit, it's not true. You just simply can't make the argument that any one of Kanye's albums can be his best albums. Now I know what you're thinking, Beanie, music's subjective, you're kind of being a fucking pretentious asshole right now. Fuck that, man. Jesus Is King is a shit album, and it cannot be your favorite Kanye album. His other albums are all better than it. That is his worst album. So yeah, I basically disproved that random statement I saw on Twitter and Reddit that, you know, was definitely just posted for fun and was not supposed to be looked into this deep and criticized. But hey, man, I think it made for a solid YouTube video. Oh, and also, since I already went through all the other Kanye albums, I feel like I should say something about Donda. Yeah, Donda fucking slaps, doggies. It's fucking Yeezy season, boys.